Now at the same time as I got my Rising Sun, which is this playmat you can see, I also got another box from Cool Mini or Not for Zombicide. Now, Zombicide Green Horde is the fantasy kind of zombie orc version of Zombicide. It's a standalone game that you can also use as an expansion to Zombicide Black Plague for all adventurers. So we'll have a look at this base box, and then when the extras arrive I can have a look at those. And it's also got a rather cool catapult, which if you've seen some of my other videos you might have seen I actually did a 3D printed trebuchet which I could use instead of this piece should I want to. And if I make my own custom scenarios, there's that option. Anyway, let's get inside this box. Well, in typical CMON format, rulebook on top, then your minis in a box, and it does actually tell you that you might need to be aware that the figures are in a slightly random order, and then right down at the bottom a load of card, but also this weird little sort of plastic tray thing, which I guess is to hold the map in place and also to allow you to sort your tokens out. If you've ever seen a Zombicide game, you'll know about these map tiles. They're sort of 9 grids on a tile, and they're double-sided. These ones have fields in them. You've got some bloody grungy bits and then the outdoor fields. Now the tiles at the moment do look as if they're a little bit warped, which is a little bit concerning, but they normally do flatten down, and there's some really nice artwork, nice run-down sort of medieval interiors, and then with these outdoor sections, some lovely little details in these maps. Really good. Do like them. And obviously, again, as you've probably noticed in my 3D printing sections, I've tried to come up with some designs, but printing off some of this interior stuff is not really possible. So yeah, it's kind of, do you want the 3D nature of 3D printed upgrades, or do you want to stick with the base maps, which just look gorgeous, and then nice little kind of water feature here as well. So really impressive set of tiles, and it's going to add some nice variety to your Zombicide game. Now your tiles are pretty similar. You've got your noise, your little red and blue and green etc. markers, your zombie spawn points, your doors, your bile. The thing that's new to this set is these barriers, and they might double up. Yes, they do double up as hedgerows, so that's a little bit new. But anyway, get these punched out, and then we'll have a look at the minis. All the tokens are punched out, so there they are. You've got your blue and red and green tokens, the double-sided hedge barriers, the 3 little weird tokens, and then all your various spawn points, including shamans, I think they are, rather than necromancers, but I guess they count as necromancers, your noise tokens, etc. So anyway, on to the minis. So inside this box are all the wonderful minis. We'll have a look at these. We've also got various cards, and of course the heroes with the dashboards, which are really cool, the little plasticky bits, and of course some pretty nice dice. Anyway, let's have a look at the minis. The orc fatty zombies. You've got quite a few of these as per your typical Zombicide setup. So yeah, nice looking mini. Yeah, it's not a huge sort of I'm a zombie look about it, but it does have a little bit of an element of that. Then we've got, I guess, a walker. I've got a feeling it's the goblins are the equivalent to like the runners. I need to check the rulebook on that. Then the other sculpt we've got is this one here. Really nice. And of course, nice green orcish colour. And weird kind of skeleton necklace thing going on with this one. Really nice. What other variations we got? So we've got this one here, which is your sort of goblin-y type character with his big ears. And then this one, and then I think, have we got 2 more sculpt variants? I need to double check. There you go. And this one, similar but slightly different to one of the other miniatures. And then Mr. Pointy, or reaching out and grabbing you. So yeah, really, really nice selection, and your typical Call Me You're Not tray. So let's have a look at the heroes. Now, I haven't opened up the cards yet to remind myself of the name of these guys, but we've got our crossbow wielding chap here. We've got two hammer wield. Oh, it's a hammer and an axe. Our dwarf character here, I think he's a dwarf. Yes, he's a dwarf with a kind of wolf's mane cloak. We've got a kind of Conan the Barbarian-y type character here. We have a couple of ladies, I believe. So is this our wizard, maybe? Not sure. Have to check when we get the hero card. And then this, I think, elf character, female elf. And then probably my favourite mini in the box is the kind of Arabic Asim, I think he's called. Yeah, really, really like him. So you have the big trebuchet with some pretty cool detail on it. And then a big abomination, which I guess is an orc, could be a troll, I guess. Really, really dynamic. It's got some weirdness going on with its fingers, which I'm not so keen on, but you know, not so bad. And then our kind of orc shaman slash necromancer, who looks really, really cool. So let's have a look at the hero card so we can work out what all of them do. So here we have Asim, my favourite figure. He has a taunt ability, and you can give him extra actions, melee attacks, and other options. He can also have a curved dagger. We have Berin, the dwarf kind of berserker guy, who's got shove, action, melee, and bloodlust. Johannes, transmutation, so I guess he's an alchemist, action, ranged, reaper range, so he's a ranged guy. Megan, who has some potions, so you can hold a speed scroll, just in case I didn't point it out, you can have a crossbow there, and an axe, I think it was, for the dwarf. Double casting, that's pretty cool. Action, melee or spellbook, combat, magic or melee, so various options there for you. Rolf, who can have a great axe, he's got bloodlust, melee, action, melee, jump, combat action, battle rage, shove. And then Selly, the kind of elvish barbarian-y type character, I guess. Jump, action, melee, hit and run, move, roll 6 to get an extra combat, and zombie link and curved dagger. So nice addition to the Black Plague canon, so even more heroes for you to play with. Yeah, good stuff. I'm going to have a very quick look through the cards here just to see if there's anything particularly exciting to point out. So we got short swords, yeah, pretty standard. Spiked bow, that's I think quite nice. Norse sword, telekinetic blast, a bone kukri, bone sword, dwarven axe, lava burst, steel bow, war cleaver, and then the trebuchet, which is a pretty cool bit. Then we got your pretty standard zombie bits, so orc walker, apples, axe, chainmail armor, death gale, dragon bile, all the good stuff. So yeah, some pretty standard looking stuff. I'd have to go through all my cards and check what's new in this version versus the other. Salted meat, I can't remember if that was in the other one. Scimitar, yeah, speed, some pretty cool cards there, and it keeps going. So spiked, torch, water. Then we get into the stuff that is a little bit new, because you've got this concept of a horde of the orcs, and they kind of go off and a mass to come and absolutely smack you. So we've got loads of Assemble the Hordes. Oh, loads and loads and loads. Look at them. All the options out. Where's this thing that makes them... Yeah, is it this bit here where you add to the horde zombies, and then obviously your fairly standard stuff, and then extra activations, and then Orc Necromancer. So they're not calling him a shaman, they're calling him a necromancer. And then enter the horde, where all these guys you've been stockpiling suddenly come to beat you up. So there you go. That is a very quick look at the Green Horde. Hopefully you've enjoyed that little peek at what you can expect. Now, I believe everything I've shown you is in the retail version, so if you haven't backed it on Kickstarter, you should be getting everything I've showed you. As I say, I'm still waiting for my Kickstarter extras to turn up. Well, that wraps this video up. As you can see, the rulebook, pretty good stuff. Talking about the various other Zombicides, how to set up the game, some basics of how it works, reading your equipment cards, generating noise, experience and managing your inventory, the zombies, talking about the orc zombies. So here you go. Zombicide Green Horde features orc zombies. These brutal foes work in almost the same way as classic standard zombies found in Zombicide Black Plague. Most of them are physically stronger, displaying a higher damage value and thus inflicting more wounds upon attacking survivors. They also benefit from the horde game mechanics and can invade the board in unpredictable ways. All fantasy Zombicide contacts are compatible. Orc zombie cards can be mixed in any way you see fit with any other zombie cards from any of the other boxes. So that is pretty cool and pretty terrifying. Now, Orc Walkers do 2 damage. Let's just get that across here. So Orc Walkers do 2 damage. The Orc Fatties do 3 damage. The Orc Runners do 1 damage. And the Orc Abomination does 3 damage. Damage to destroy is 1, 2, 1 and 3. And experience is 1 and 5 for the Abomination. The Necromancer does 2 damage. You have to do it 1 damage to kill it. Gives you 1 experience points, and it's got some special rules. There is a section talking about how the zombie horde works. Moving, searching, opening doors, reorganising, various actions you can take, particularly in combat, using the trebuchet, which is a siege action, the zombie phase, nicely laid out rulebook, playing your orc runners, orc necromancers, which has quite a big section, talking about necromancer cabals, how combat works, using magic, ranged, etc. Dragon fire. Then, of course, the bit that's new, barriers, hedges, and water holes. Oh, okay, didn't know we had water holes, but apparently we do. And it looks like that affects the movement, so I need to have a read that. Then what's this? Ultra hard mode, is that? Oh, ultra red. Okay, so it allows you to gain extra experience, playing with more than 7 survivors, which is interesting. Then we get into the quests, so I'm not really going to spend much time on those. Let's quickly flick through those. Spoilers. And it looks like there's 9, at least, no, 10. Wow, 10. Then a breakdown of your skills, quite nice to have that. An index, and then a summary on the back. So 10 quests. Decent rulebook, yeah, looks good, and pretty much the same as Black Plague with a couple of little extra wrinkles. Really looking forward to the Kickstarter extras, and I also have managed to pick up some extras for standard Black Plague, so expect some videos of those at some stage in the future.